episode of the Boilin podcast, and I'm your host, Shan. Now, I'm super happy to have all of you guys here, and because you could have chosen any other podcast to lend your ear to, and you chose mine, for that I am super appreciative. Now, although this podcast is going to be mostly comedy, this first episode will be an introduction of myself, my family, and touching on a serious issue that touched my family and has been plaguing many communities around the world, including our own. Before we get all serious, let me introduce myself. My name is Shanteria McFarlane, but I like to be called Shan or Shan Dog for short, and because it's my business and you should mind your own. Now, before I get into the topic of today, let's answer a few questions you may have about my podcast. Now, the first one would be, why the boiling pot? Well, the term actually stemmed from melting pot, which the United States is typically described as. Now, for you guys that don't know what a melting pot is, it's something that is considered a lot of components, like a lot of stuff is going into it. Meaning the United States has many cultural backgrounds, many ethnicities, many different races, and people from all over the world have came here and have created a life for themselves and their family, which is quite a lot of people. If you look around, there is different races around you everywhere, and it's a beautiful thing. And when I decided on a name, I did want something that best represented who I am and what the ultimate goal for my podcast is. I like to consider myself a woman of many talents. I do not like to keep myself in a box. I like to venture out and keep myself well-versed on many things such as food, art, music, people, television, everything, etc., etc. I don't like to stay in a box. I like to keep moving around. So that was pretty much how I came up with that title for my podcast. And the ultimate goal for this podcast is just for everyone to be able to relate to something from this podcast, even if it's just one thing. If I can reach one person each episode, my goal has been reached, and I am happy. Plus, we're going to be getting into some flaming hot topics, okay? We're going to be talking about everything. And some podcasters, and I know other people will be a little timid about discussing these topics, but I will not. It's going to be politics. It's going to be mental health. It's going to be relationships, work life, and social life balance. It's going to be controversy in the media, sex, everything in between, y'all. We're going to be getting into it all. So please join me back every week because something is going to be amiss and we're going to have fun. Next question is, where I'm from? Well, I was born right here in the A. Now, since there's a lot of controversy surrounding the Atlanta and what Atlanta is and what it ain't, I want to be very specific because she made it her point to let us know that we got to state where we from, zone and everything. So I'm from Zone 3, my Fulton County fam. I was born and raised in Cleveland Avenue and raised on Cleveland Avenue. If y'all know what they said, we like to call it Cleveland. Okay, I don't gangbang though. I don't do that. But that's pretty much where I was raised, and it made me such a tough young lady, okay? And I would not change it for anything in the world. I did go to school, elementary on the south side. Went to Heritage Academy. Woo woo. Went there for all of elementary, and then after middle school and high school, I did go to school on the west side. Hated it, okay? But it is what it is. Time has passed. And once again, all that I've been through has led me to be the person I am. I'm so tough. I'm so strong. I can really get through anything. So like I said, I wouldn't change anything I wouldn't change it. But I did want to serve in the military. But the recruiter pulled me to the side and he was like, yeah, you're qualified. You got good scores in the ASVAB, but you're a little overweight, da-da-da-da. So I took that as God telling me, that is not what I got planned for you, child. Do something else with your life. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to serve. It's okay. I got friends and family that is in the military. Kudos to y'all, but it ain't for me. Okay. And right now, I am currently the youngest AGM of a very successful and popular Vietnamese chain here in Atlanta. They're venturing out to other states, but first youngest, the first black, and also the first black female. Now, we're in 2022. We should not still be saying the first black of anything, but it is what it is, and I'm appreciative, so I don't take that title lightly because it's pretty cool that I'm the youngest black female there. So, hey. I'm the daughter of Fidel Love and Quandale McFarland. Those my parents, my dogs. My parents have been married for 22 years. I'm sorry, going on 22 years in September. So we already just go ahead and shoot to the punch and say 22 years. I was born in the late 90s. April, best. I'm a Taurus. Shout out to all my Taurus out there. Yeah, I was born in 1997. So I was introduced to a lot of good films. I think that's where my love of music and movies came from, because my family raised me up on old school music and Booty Call and How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Why Do Fools Fall in Love. You know, I was watching all the 90 films, even though I was born in the late 90s. Those are all the films I grew up on. So I had a love for music and movies because of the year I was born. Like I said earlier, I grew up on Boilin Ave. Shout out to Boilin. My family and I moved to Fairburn, Georgia about 3 years ago. We bought a brand new home in a brand new subdivision. And we're from the hood, y'all. So that was super exciting for us. It was such a big goal because it's something that my parents have been working tirelessly for. My parents have all worked so hard our entire lives. So for them to be able to sign their name on the dotted line, it just brought me so much joy. And I was happy for them. All right. Speaking of my family, let me tell you a little bit about them, okay? Anybody that knows me know I come from a very large family. I'm the oldest of 8 children. We call ourselves a Love family because everybody in my family has the last name Love, which is my father's last name. I'm the only child that has McFarland, which is my mother's last name. You know, when I was growing up, I couldn't understand why everybody had to get Love. Everybody got simple names. You got Taylor, you got Braxton, you got Aiden, you got Jalen, Joshua. I'm like, hold on. My name's Chantur. What happened? Well, I'm glad you wised up eventually, but you know, I grew to love my name because it's quite unique and it makes me stand out amongst all my siblings. So, haha, I got a better unique name than y'all do. Anyways, speaking of my family, let me tell you a little bit about my mother. My mother is a true badass. Seriously. She not only raised 8 big watermelon, mega mind, fruit by the foot head ass kids, but she also, you know, was a wife. She's a friend. She's a student. She got her associates in criminal justice and then turned around. She's still in school getting her bachelor's in criminal justice. And now she wears the badge, meaning my mom is a sheriff. I'm so proud of her. I remember when my parents, me, my boyfriend, and my parents went out on a double date, and I thought it was so serious, y'all. They was like, we got something to tell you, Shan. And I was like, huh? What you got to tell me? And every time they said they had to tell me something, it was them telling me they was finna have another child. So I'm like, oh my God, no, please, Lord, please. And then she was like, we having another baby, and it's a girl. My smile dropped immediately. I'm like, what you mean you have another child? Y'all got 8. Which I mean, y'all still got baby fever? Y'all want more kids? I'm like, no, this can't be. Y'all can't be serious. The baby getting left at the hospital. I don't care what you say. Push him out. The baby getting left at the hospital. Go be with somebody else's family. Okay? Let Madonna or Lady Gaga adopt them. Have a great life. And then she's like, Dad, you gonna do something like that? I'm like, we got 8 already. What do you mean? But then she told me, you know, we're just playing. But actually, I have been accepted into the sheriff's department and I'm starting, you know, training and all that stuff. And I'm like, what? I mean, I knew my mom was in school, but sheriff, I never would have thought. So I'm like, whoa, that is huge. And she hid it from all of us until she knew that she got in. So I'm like, man, now we got something to celebrate. So we celebrated. We had such a great time. And speaking of McFarland, I just realized a year ago that my last name comes from a long line of royalty in Scotland. So I'm eager to go out there to see if I got some long lost cousins or something who got that long money, because we struggling down here, okay? You need to come down to Atlanta, or I need to come up here. We're going to have to work something out, okay? So that was pretty interesting. So I really want to take a trip out there just to learn more about where I come from, because that's pretty huge. Speaking of my father, a true king for real. He worked so hard. He has worked so hard our entire life. I think ever since I was a kid, or as long as I could remember, he's always had 2 jobs. He's always been moving, he's always been working, and I'm like, man, it would pride me so much to be able to tell my parents, y'all don't have to work another day in y'all life. Y'all been working so hard all your life, so take a chill pill, relax. Let's get it in. Let's move to a nice neighborhood. Let's buy that truck. Let's buy that Range Rover. Let's take that trip. Let's buy that bag. Let's buy this. Let's buy that. Let's actually enjoy life, because you spent most of your life working so hard. So that'll make me super, super happy. And speaking of my dad, he is from D. If y'all don't know where that's at, that's Detroit, Michigan. Cold out there. It's cold as ice. You got to be wrapped up in several layers, or you going to come back with a cough, sniff, and a sneeze. It's not a joke. Like, you really got to be wrapped up in Detroit. Like, it's crazy out there. Crime ain't as bad as it used to be, but Lord have mercy. Ooh. But when he was in his teens, his mom moved him and his brother down here to Atlanta to be closer to her sister, their aunt. And a few years later, he was introduced to my mom by her brother, my uncle. So my uncle was playing matchmaker. Then, I came out a few years later. So if it wasn't for his mom moving them down to Atlanta, my parents would have never met. So I'm super grateful for Grandma for bringing my dad down here and creating me and my family. As I stated, my family has so many siblings. I have so many siblings. And my parents, they've been married for so long, 22 years. I was born in 1997. Braxton, the last child, was born in 2018. So there's like a 21-year age gap. And even though it's a 21-year age gap, Braxton would still look me dead in the face and be like, girl, shut the hell up. And I'll shut the hell up too. I ain't gonna need to lie. Because he kind of run the household, even though he a baby. What he say goes. So I'll be quiet. I'll keep talking when you leave. I'll be talking again. But just kidding. But those children, he really does have a mind of his own. All of my little siblings do. It's a huge household with different personalities. So it was a lot of clashing at some point, but we learned to appreciate each other's differences, and that made us love each other even more, that some of us were different. And when we actually spent more time together and sat down and actually talked to one another, we realized that we got a lot in common, and some of us share the same passions, same talents. So it was really special to know that I have such a huge family, and we all are the same in a way. So it's quite beautiful.
What that? No, that.
What that mean?
What?
Right there. What that mean?
Get some gas.
No.
That means your shit don't eat. That means you don't eat. Get some gas. I want you to add me some shit. I'll say anything on the top of my head. What it means.
This September, once again, my parents will be celebrating 22 years of marriage. I can honestly say you do not see that these days or every day. The divorce rate is through the roof. So for a couple to stick it out and stay in the fight and raise a beautiful family and go through struggles together, it's really rare. And it's, like I said, a beautiful thing. I just love how my dad loves my mom, He's her best friend, her protector, her counselor, her plumber, her shoulders when she's sad, her chef, a little handyman. Bob the builder ain't got none of my daddy. My daddy can fix anything. He a mechanic. You got a flat tire? I change it in the morning. For real. He really, really takes care of my mom, and he lightens her load to where she doesn't have to really worry about a lot of things. He may be even her stripper. I don't know. I don't put nothing past my parents. They got 8 kids. Y'all doing something to keep that fire alive. I ain't mad at you now. Just don't pop no more babies out, or we gonna have a problem. Anyway, I honestly couldn't ask for better parents. I really can't. Like I said, I've watched them struggle to make ends meet, do everything in their power to make sure we had what we needed. We may not always have what we wanted, but we always had what we needed. Listen to our goals, listen to our problems, discipline us when we needed it, held us accountable for our actions. I can truly say my parents prepared me and my siblings for this cruel world we live in. And a lot of parents are not preparing their children for the world. You know, you despoil them too much. You let them think the world revolves around them, and it really does not. So when they get out in this world, they fall flat on their face. It's a foreign language to them. They're not used to it. Like, whoa, these bills, whoa, these gas prices, whoa, food, whoa, I gotta buy tissue, I gotta buy clothes, I gotta do all this. What? Mama and daddy always took care of me. Not in my household. My parents made us pay bills. You come home, watch your siblings. You come home, help your siblings with your homework, cook a meal, clean up. You know, so they really prepared us for this cruel world, and I am so thankful for that, because a lot of kids are not getting that, and I really pity them because they're gonna fall flat on their face. But yeah, my parents really did prepare us for life. It's a beautiful thing. And let me really tell you about my energetic siblings. Now, first up we have, I told you about me. Next we have Junior. Junior is the second born. He is 22, will be 23 this December. And that boy Marine, y'all, he's serving the country. And he's single. China and McLean, if you listening to this, girl, snatch him up. He got his own money, so he don't need yours. But if you wanna slide me $5 or $2, I will take it. But he is such a handsome young man. I'm so proud of the man he's become. He helps our parents, even though he's hundreds of miles away serving. And he still makes sure he calls, checks up on them. When he comes down, you know, my parents usually do all the picking up. He'll go pick them up from school. He'll come back home. He'll buy everybody some food. We'll be eating, chilling. He's just a really great guy and a great big brother. I was, you know, some kids, when they're the youngest child, they're the only child for a little while. Then another kid comes along and they're just having a hard time adjusting to that. That wasn't the case for me. I was so happy to have a sibling. I was so happy to have Junior. I'm like, man, I got me a little brother. We would always play together. So when I say that's my dog, man. He's so smart. He's funny. He's talented. He shares the love of music just like Josh does. Really talented. He can flow too now. Yeah, I ain't saying that because he's my sibling. Now, if he was trash, I would let him know. Hey, I know that's your goal, but you may want to think about something else. But he's really good. He's just a heck of a guy. And I can't wait to see what God has in store for him. After he gets out of the military, he does want to pursue a career in law. I'm not sure who or where that's going to be, but I'm pretty sure the job is a sealed deal. You got it because you deserve it. But that's Junior, y'all. Once again, you know, Marseille Martin, or what's the other girl name? From Grownish. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Hit him up, girl. He handsome too, y'all. So holla at him. Next, we got Joshua. Josh is the reason behind this entire podcast. That's my beloved brother. He passed away last month, sadly, after he was on his way to get snacks for our siblings. On his way back from the store with all the snacks my siblings want, he was hit by a car. Most likely a street racer, because from the damage of the pieces of the car that were left in the street, they had to be flying down that road. Like, they had to be flying. And the highway my parents live on is very dark. There's no street lights. There's no anything. There's no way for you to even cross the road. You have to dash across the street. You have to stand in the yellow median until you're able to get to the other side of the road. So my brother was struck inside the yellow median. And the reason why we believe he was struck by a street racer is because I've personally seen it. You're not supposed to drive in the median, but most street racers will go in the median to go around slower drivers. So my brother's standing right here, and street racer, instead of staying in that lane, they drove through the median, and that's where my brother was standing, and left him there. And because of the impact of the accident, I'm pretty sure it may have knocked him unconscious or killed him right on the spot. And he was then hit by 3 additional cars. We were forced to have a closed casket for Joshua because of all the damage his body sustained. And it pained me to not be able to see my brother one last time. I couldn't even see him. So it broke my heart. You know, I know you're gone, but for us to be forced, we were literally forced to have a closed casket. They would not let us see Joshua. And I think it was for good reason. They didn't want us to see him like that. Joshua would have been 21 in this May. I was going to take him out to get a drink, you know what I'm saying? We was going to have a ball. I hate that I didn't have that chance to celebrate at least one my birthday with him. Now, Joshua was unapologetically himself. That man, the man, he had a point. He gonna prove it. He hated like being told he was wrong. And that was something we all don't like. You know, deep down, we all hate being told, no, you're wrong. No, you need to do this. And he always tried to prove his point. That was Joshua. You know, he was so funny, so silly. The boy could Joan. So if you gonna step into the building, baby, you need to be best dressed. And you finna get to have a Joan fest, okay? So he was so fun, and he lit up any room that he walked in. And he had a passion for music. It just wasn't something that he wanted to do for the money or the fame. It was really his passion. Like, he genuinely loved music. When he would record, it's like we'll all disappear, and it's just him and that mic. And it was such a great thing to see my brother in his form, his true form, doing something that he's passionate about. The last conversation, or all the conversations we always had, was about how he wanted to retire our parents and put them in a big old mansion in a white folks neighborhood and have us all under the same roof. We all love our space, so he wanted to make sure the house was big enough to where we could still have our space, but still close enough if we wanted to talk to each other. So that was his ultimate goal. And I remember a week before he died, the last time I seen him, which I didn't know it was going to be the last time I seen him, he had these little dreads. God, it was ugly. I was like, ooh, you need to cut your hair. But he cut his hair, and he looked like a split image of our father. Joshua, out of all the boys, he looked just like my dad. Our dad, he looks just like them. So he cut his hair off, and I'm like, Josh, you cut your hair off? What? You look just like Dad. And he was like, yeah, I'm trying to, get these jobs and da-da-da. He actually had 2 jobs. I didn't even know. My brother, boy, he wanted to rap, but he has a baby girl as well. She's 7 months, so he wanted to be able to give her a life that she deserved. So he went and got 2 jobs. He cut his hair off so he could be hireable, because with them dreads, it wasn't gonna happen. So he cut him off. He got 2 jobs. He was telling me all about how he had just did 3 shows that were really successful. He was being booked for another one, and he was like, man, my life going great, I'm just trying to work right now so I can get my money up for my baby girl. And then, after we were leaving, because we were going to Topgolf, me and Jalen and my boyfriend, we didn't know Josh was there. So when I walked through the door, I was super surprised that he was there, and we were already rushing, so I didn't have time to say, hey, throw some clothes on, come with us. And I really wish I would have, because that was the last time I seen my brother. Before I left, he told everybody he loved us. And I'm like, Josh, I love you too, bro. And I said, I'll see you next time. I didn't know there wasn't going to be a next time. And he hugged me so tight, y'all. It was the hug he gave me. It was like something in him. It felt weird, but I didn't know, like, why is his hug so tight? I'm like, he's hugging me like this the last time I'm going to see him. But you don't want to think like that. I was like, dang, bro, you going to see me again? You going to break my back? The hug hurt. It was so tight. He was just like, and he held it. He held it for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, he never hugged me like that before. So I'm like, all right, Josh, I see you, man. But I'm grateful. That was the last encounter I had with my brother, and I was able to tell him I loved him, and I was so proud of him. And it's just, sometimes I close my eyes and I can hear his voice saying my name. Shan. Yo, Shan. What's up, twin? He was so Atlanta, y'all. He was so Atlanta. Like, every phrase Atlanteans say, he said them. But, if you're listening to me, Josh, and you're not rapping to Mary and the Little Lambs and Jesus, I promise you this. I will fulfill your goal of retiring our parents. I'll make sure your baby girl never forgets how amazing her father was. And I will never forget you. We love you and miss you so much. Like, you have no idea. It is hard living without you. It really is. But I'm doing this podcast for you and for myself as well. But you're pushing me to not give up. And I appreciate that.
That's his music. I'm just vibing with his music.
Next, we have Jalen. Jalen is so special, man. He's so close to God. Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I was as close to God as you are, because he's that close with God. Like, he's only 18, but he has an inspirational TikTok where he provides guidance and words of encouragement to younger people. Sometimes it can be a little hard getting through to young people. So if you have a child or if you have siblings and you want them to get closer to God, you should show them my brother's TikTok, because he is 18, so they will probably bond with him more than they would an adult. His TikTok is Swagged Up Jalen, SWAGGEDUPJALEN, spelled correctly, spelled just how it sounds, Swagged Up Jalen. He's about to graduate high school this year, has several college offers, and even though he has several places he could choose from, he is highly considering following in his brother's footsteps and serving in the military. I don't know if he's debating on whether he wants to do the Air Force or the Army. Pretty sure he can do whatever he want to do. And he's so content that God has such a huge plan for him. And I know he does as well, because that boy is just so special, man. You can tell that God got his hands on him. Like that boy is going to be somebody, and I can't wait to see who he's going to be. Now, but if I had to decide on who was funnier between Joshua and Jalen, there's a thin line, but I would say Jalen, only because he does like these little old folks impressions. Like if you were to close your eyes, you would swear that there was an AARP recipient in the room. You'd be like, who is that? Like he started doing that when he was probably like 7 or 8. And he's 18 now, so he's been doing that for 10 years. And so it's gotten to the point where he's scary good. I'm like, you should do this on your TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But that man is so good. It's so funny and entertaining. Like, I'm like, bro, you should really try to make some money off of that, because you are funny. But one day I'm going to try to attach a video to where he's acting like that, so y'all can actually see it and hear it for yourself. And y'all going to be like, she was not lying. But he's really special, man. He's so intelligent, well-spoken. I can't wait to see what God has planned for him. And next we have Megan. Now, Megan is my first sister. I didn't know how to feel. I was growing up with a lot of brothers. So to have a sister, it was very special to me. She's very standoffish. Like, she's in that preteen age where she don't like being bothered by anybody. She's trying to stay to herself. She loves YouTube. And my parents got this little dog. He's a Chihuahua, and I think he's a Shih Tzu mix. So his name's Nico. She'll have Nico in her room all day. Like, sometimes you won't even know she's there. She won't even come out the room. I'm like, Megan, you in here? She's like, what do you want? I'm like, I'm watching YouTube. I want to come watch YouTube with you. What you doing? I'm trying to bond with her. There's still an age gap. She's 13. I'm finna be 25. So it's like, she's like, girl, bye. But I completely understand. I was that way as well, growing up. She's growing into herself. She's trying to figure out who she is, what she likes, what she doesn't like, what interests her, what her goals are for her life. She's starting to dabble in makeup, so she likes to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I guess that's how she perfects her craft. And I could say at her age, I was not as good doing makeup as she is. Like, she's getting really good. Like, my eyebrows are either too thin or too thick. They good now. You know what I'm saying? Check them out. But they was either too thin or too thick, and people would not tell me. I'm trying to figure out if I had some real friends or not. Why y'all didn't tell me I was looking like who did it and why they didn't say nothing? God. And then people will always be like, Shan, you're so cool and you're so funny, but I thought you were mean. And I never could understand, why did they think I was mean? That's because I was mean mugging them with my eyebrows. I'm like, girl, I'm real funny if you get to know me. And I didn't know that's why they was looking like that. Like, I was either surprised, because I got the arch, it was too, I don't know, the arch was too high. So I was either looking like I was surprised to see you, or it was too low and too harsh, so I was looking mad, or it was too rounded, I was looking sad. Like, child, I had you sitting on the edge of your seat. You didn't know what you was gonna get with me. Who's she gonna be today? How's she gonna feel? Is she gonna speak? Like, for real. So for her to be that good at makeup at that age is impressive. But I cannot wait to see who you're gonna become. Megan really strikes me as that rich auntie that ain't gonna have no kids, but if she do, they're gonna be later on in life after she done traveled the world and did everything she sought to do for herself. And ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get your money, sis. And next we have, hold on, I got so many siblings. Aiden. Y'all, come on, bear with me. I got a lot of siblings. We got Aiden. Aiden is so freaking confident and competent. These last 3 kids are kind of one and the same. They're like so smart. And I shout out to the academy. I'm not gonna put them on blast because this world is crazy. But shout out to the academy that taught my siblings. They are so freaking smart. At just one, he could have a conversation with you. You know, sometimes he'll try to think of what he's saying because he's only one. But at two, he was having full-blown conversations. And you'd be like, people will come over and they'd be like, how old is Aiden? They're like 2 years old. Full-blown conversation. How's your day going? What are you doing? What do you have on? Did you eat today? Are you okay? Like, he'll have these full-blown conversations with you. So competent. So if he was doing it at 2, imagine how he is now at 7. He's so freaking smart. The boy full-blown interrogates you. Like, he is really blunt. He get that from me. I shoot straight for the gut. I don't sugarcoat it. Hey, however you take it, it's how you take it. But just know if I said it, I meant it. So, and I mean it with love. I just sometimes don't know how to say it without sounding so harsh. And that's Aiden. So I remember one day I was in my room chilling, minding my business, and he comes to my room, looks out my window. Hey, Shan, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. What is he up to? I found out he was breaking the ice. He was finna tear me down so bad. And I didn't know. He was like, you doing good? And I was like, yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing? He's like, I'm doing good. He got this cute little voice. And I was like, okay. And he was like, can I ask you something? And I was like, yeah, what's up? Do you want a brush? And I was like, yeah, you need it? I can go get out of the bathroom for you. He was like, no, I think you should use it. And I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, I think you should use it. Your hair is really messy and nappy. And I was like, whoa. Excuse me? Y'all, I wear weave. So I took my weave out. I let my hair breathe. You know, it was curly. I got like a natural curly, kinky hair. It ain't super curly, but it's a nice little 4C curl. So I'm chilling, and he was like, bro, yeah, your hair is nappy. You should use the brush. I don't normally cuss at my siblings. But that day I was like, boy, if you don't get the hell out of my room, talk about my damn hair, get out. Don't come back in here. And he was like, what? I'm just saying. I'm like, bro, get out. And then later on, I had to come back to him and tell him about how Black women naturally wear their hair. And this is how he's going to see this a lot often. I think because I wear weave so much, he hadn't really seen me with my natural hair. So to him, my hair wasn't done. So I had to, you know, just educate him a little bit on how Black women wear their hair and how it should be expected and how he can't just tell women their hair is nappy. Especially nappy. Use another word. Use another word because you might get slapped. So don't say that. So it's like I use that as a teaching moment. But as soon as he left in my room, I bust out laughing because I'm like, how could you have the audacity to say that? Why would you say that? Ugh. But he's so funny and he's just so blunt. And it's gonna make his character. He's gonna be a funny guy. Next we have Taylor. That's my girl. That's my second sister. That girl is so full of life. She's like a splitting image of me, literally. She's so rough. Like, because her brothers are around her age range and Megan usually stays by herself, Taylor loves to be around her brothers, and that's just how I was. Like, I would want to play with them. I would want to do everything they're doing. I want to climb. I want to crawl. I want to do this. I want to wrestle. I want to do it all. And that's how she is. And sometimes I have to tell her, hey, Taylor, you know, you got a skirt on, you got a dress, you can't do that. Go put on some pants, and da-da-da, close your legs, cross, you know. I have to teach her lady etiquette, but I don't stop her from being who she is. She want to play with her brothers, go play with your brothers. But, you know, when she have a dress on, I just let her know, you have a dress on, you want to go play, go put on some pants. She'll run upstairs, put on some pants, and she right back out there with her brothers. And that's extremely how it was. Like, my parents will always buy her Barbie dolls, and boy, I hated Barbie dolls. Like, I'll shave all their hair off. I'll get a permanent marker and be scribbling all over their face, making them look like demonic creatures. I don't want no goddamn Barbie doll. So that's how she is the same way. And my parents, they buy her so many. She got so many Barbie dolls. She got more Barbie dolls than I got dollars in my bank account. I'm like, girl, like, why y'all keep buying her all this stuff? Y'all know she ain't gonna do nothing but cut all their hair off. And they just keep giving her dolls. As my daddy say, a doll. A doll. He was like, where your Barbie doll? But she doesn't like him. She like Ryan. She like Peppa Pig. She likes Paw Patrol. You know, Ryan is the dude on YouTube. So if this ever get in the hands of the Ryan team, please, my siblings would be so happy to play with this kid. They freaking adore him. Please reach out to me. But my siblings love Ryan. And she just want to do everything her brothers do. She want to run. She want to play. She'll fall down. She'll get right back up. She truly is an outgoing girl. And those really make the best females. You know, girls that are not afraid to step outside of the norm of how a female should act. Like, why can't we play sports? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? So, and I'm the same way. So I love seeing her just enjoy her siblings and just want to do everything they want to do. She's so smart as well. They all went to the same academy. She's so freaking competent. That girl is funny. Like, she's so sassy. She a little bougie. Like, but she's the youngest girl, so she get whatever she wants. And she knows it. So she's like, yeah, I want this, I want that. And I'm like, girl, go ahead, do your thing. Shit. But next we have, last but not least, we have the ringleader of the family. And that's Braxton, Brad. He's a gentle giant. Most definitely a monster, but he's a sweet one. He loves to get his way. If he don't get his way, y'all, this man will pass out. Like, he will show his tail. Like, he has to get his way. He has to do it. That's Braxton. He's the youngest kid, so he feels like he should get all the attention. He should get whatever he wants. He's a true night owl. Like, Braxton do not sleep. He'll be up all night. Everybody done went to bed. Taylor be the first one to go to bed, then it'll be Aiden. Braxton, you'll think he's asleep, and he'll come sneaking back down the stairs, peeking off to see who's still up. Whoever's still up, he gonna crawl under them, see what you doing. You on your phone, he on your phone too. Like, he's that type of kid, but he loves snacks. Like, he loves snacks. Like, he wanna eat everything. Like, bro, it's 12 o'clock. What you want famous Amos for? But my siblings are just, all of them are so smart, and just, they all have their individual characteristics, but we all are alike in a way. And that's pretty much my family. It's, like I said, it's a lot of us. So, a football team for sure. Now, and well, yeah, family dogs. I can't forget about the family dogs. We have a German Shepherd named Rocco, and we have a Shih Tzu and a Chihuahua mix named Nico. I'm not sure why my parents decided to get a small dog and a big dog, because when they fight, we don't know if they playing, or if they playing, we don't know if they fighting. So I'm like, what is going on? We got to keep them apart, but we still try to bring them together because they got to grow up together, because the German Shepherd is still a baby. Even though he's growing 3 times as fast as Nico, he's still a baby. So we want them to grow up and bond with each other so it doesn't become like a dominant thing, if that makes sense. But that's the love family, y'all. It's a lot of us. So I will talk about them more often. But for right now, we got to get into the topic of today because I don't want to keep you guys too long. It's time to get serious. Now, before we get into the topic, can we please share a 10-second moment of silence for my brother? All right. Thank you guys for that. I really appreciate it. Oh, God. Oh, no. Will it still fly? Here, Dad, let it go.
It may not. Go ahead, just let it go.
I don't think it's going to fly.
It's push it up. There you go. It's gone.
Cameraman.
Now, today we're going to be discussing the very dangerous and sometimes fatal results of street racing. In my brother's case, it took his life, and it took him away from us. Y'all took a piece of our legacy. He's a part of such a huge family, and none of us ever really think death will be knocking at our doorstep. And when it does, it's such a foreign language. Like, why? I never seen this coming. So it was like a wake-up call for sure for us. This is why I was so motivated to have this topic about street racing to be the first episode. My hope is after this episode, I can at least convince one other person to stop dangerously racing, and just how serious this issue is. Maybe, hopefully, I can save a life. Who knows? Now I get it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Atlanta. There are a lot of slow drivers out there, okay? Everybody want to drive 45 in the far left lane, and you get upset. You're like, why are they driving so slow? Go to the right lane, blah, 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 blah. I understand. Please don't think for 1 second I do not. I used to get irritated. just like you guys, why they driving so? Man, I'll go around them, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll speed up like, whew, like, yeah, man, you slowed me down. Because in my mind, I got to catch up on all the mileage I've lost from being behind you. Like, I could have been 2X's down. So now I got to catch up to get back to them 2X's to be back on track. That's how my mind was thinking. And I never thought for 1 second why that person was slowing down. Maybe they have hit somebody in the past, or maybe they've lost a loved one to a car accident, or maybe they're just not in a rush. Or maybe they just want to get to their destination safely and unharmed, even if it got to add an extra 2 to 3 minutes onto their travel time. That is more important than them speeding and not being able to make it because they wanted to just go fast. So I had to, after this happened with my brother, it woke me up, and I had to like reevaluate everything I knew about driving, if that makes sense. I work downtown Atlanta, and almost every day, there is an accident every single day. Some people totaling their cars. They're ramming into the back of other people's vehicles. They're on the side of a rail. Their car is overturned. Their car is in flames, engulfed in flames. Some people are trapped inside these cars, and others truly do not make it. Like you can tell from the accident, like they did not make it out of that, because that was just that bad. Like, how did that happen? And you ever see an accident and you just like, how did it get like that? Like, what happened? I've seen an accident where a car was on top of another car. And I couldn't think for the life of me, why the heck did that happen? How did that happen? What were they doing? Were they distracted? What was going on? And it happens almost every day. And it truly slows traffic down. If we can all just drive safely, it's just, like I said, this is Atlanta. You know there's going to be traffic. You know you have to drive a certain speed. You can't be going 80 miles per hour through downtown. It's not going to happen. You're going to get stopped eventually by traffic. So when you get to about 248C, it's moving like snail, okay? So I don't know what y'all be expecting. And me personally, even though I was paying attention to the road, you really can't anticipate other drivers. I've come so close to crashing. Sometimes I have crashed. I remember I was on my way to work, and I wouldn't say I was speeding because I was going like 60. I slowed down because I was about to get off the exit. And this car shot 3 lanes over, cut me off. Well, cut the car in front of him off, or her. I'm not even sure who was driving because they fled the scene. But he or she cut across the car that was in front of me. The car slammed. I mean, slammed on their brakes. And it was so quick that the first thing I could think of was just to swerve to not hit the car. Because I will be honest, I didn't give them enough space to brake and not hit the back of their car. I was one of those people that ride people's tails. So I had to swerve. I ended up crashing into a tree and totaling my car. I was hurt. I didn't know I was hurt because my adrenaline was rushing, and I didn't feel the pain of the accident until yesterday. It's like my whole body was just like a brick. And I probably should have went and got checked out, but I just slept it off. But it was a tough accident. I had just got that car. I had it for like 3 months, and I loved that car. And it was gone. Even though the accident wasn't my fault, it was my fault for filing too close. And I knew that I would still get a ticket if I ran into that car, and it's just, everything happened so quick. Next thing I know, I'm wrapped around a tree. And I'm just glad I'm still here today. Like I said, most accidents are fatal. People succumb to their injuries, and they don't make it back to see their families. There are a lot of road bullies here too. Like, they'll blow you 0.2 seconds before the light turns. After the light turns green, like, they don't even give you a chance to hit the gas. I mean, the light green, they're beep. They don't give you a second. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, the light just turned green. Well, you gotta go. You got the runs. Are you late for work? Like, what's going on? And the road bullies really cause a lot of accidents. They're flying in school zones, which is a big no-no. They're kids. People don't even care about kids no more. They're flying. You know, the speed limit in a school zone is 25 miles per hour. They're going like 50, 60 in a school zone. They're running stop signs, stop lights. These signs are put into place for a reason, but to those drivers, it's a mere suggestion. Like, maybe I stop, maybe I don't. And that's so dangerous to have that mindset that you could run a stop sign. I've heard there was this accident on Camp Creek a couple years ago, and my mom served as jury duty on that case. The young lady was on her way to the store and she ran the light. She should have stopped, but she ran the light, and the car that was turning, she rammed into that car. She killed the mother, the father, and the kids that were in the vehicle. And even though she knew it was her fault, she fled the scene, got her mother's help to try to hide her vehicle. After some time died down, she tried to go get the car fixed, and the mechanic just knew something was wrong with that car. So he reported it, finds out that she was the person that killed the entire family, and she went to jail for it, and so did her mom. So just, y'all, slow down. And listen to the lights. Look at the lights. Stop mean red is stop. Green mean go. Yellow means you might need to stop. I don't understand. We too grown. Too grown. Moving along. And I see a lot of people get into an accident, and then the traffic slows all the way down. But it's not because people are thinking, I should slow down because I don't want to end up like that person. They're slowing down to be nosy. Like, y'all see them. Y'all see them every day. Y'all be like, what is y'all doing? Just go. Everybody's slowing down to be nosy. And after they be nosy, what they do? Fly. They starting to fly again. They're keeping it moving. And it's like, you would think that maybe that'll be a wake-up sign that you should slow down. You should rethink how you drive. But it's not a wake-up call to these people. A lot of the things that go on in life, it don't awaken us until it touches us personally. And then we're like, okay, maybe. I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't. But I see it every day, and it's truly sad. Especially knowing that that's how my brother lost his life. These people don't think they're flying down the highways. The crazy thing about most of these drivers is they don't stay. It is getting more common for drivers to flee the scene. Yeah, they don't stick around. The reasoning is quite unclear. You know, do you not have insurance? Are you scared? That's pretty much the only two things. Either you're scared or you don't have insurance. And it's so many people on this road driving right now uninsured. And those are most likely the people that flee the scene, because even if it's your fault, you're going to stay because you know you have insurance to help you out. But it is a lot. And these people are young drivers too, the uninsured ones, because they can get the car. They can get a little pluck from I ain't gonna put nobody on blast, but they can get a little pluck lemon squeeze car, but they can't afford the insurance for it, because as a child or someone under 21 years old, you're deemed a liability risk. So your insurance is like $400 or $500. I know because my insurance was that high when I first got insurance. So that's most likely the reason that a lot of these drivers don't have insurance. And I'm not just going to be talking either. I want to hit you guys with some facts, okay? Follow along with me. Now, Insurify states that 8 out of every 10,000 hit and run accidents, most of those accidents are fatal. According to GaryMartinHayes.com, despite being the 8th most populous state, Georgia ranks 4th for the largest number of fatal accidents. These types of accidents have been happening for years. They have. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration Fatality Analysis Reporting System, it pulled data from 1998 to 2001. That was a while ago. That's to show you that this has been going on for a very long time. There were 149,568 fatal crashes, and 315 involved street racing. And out of that 149,568 fatal crashes, 399 fatalities occurred where the street racing was involved. In contrast to other fatality crashes, street racing is more likely to occur on urban roadways, highways, and most likely the drivers were teenagers, male, and they've had previous crashes and driving violations. In layman terms, that means that a lot of these drivers who cause these fatal crashes are repeat offenders. This is not their first time causing an extremely bad crash. Now, according to the CDC, crash risk is highest during the first year that drivers are licensed. First year. Because you're happy you got your license. You're not really thinking. You just want to go fast. You don't know the freedom when y'all first got your car. You cannot tell me when you got your car you wasn't flying down the highway. Come on now. I need to find one person that can lie and say they was not flying after they got their car. Now, WHO states that the road traffic injuries are the leading cause of death among young people aged 5 through 29. Young adults aged 15 to 44 account for more than half of all road deaths. For my young listeners, I get it. You finally got that car. You got you a sense of freedom. You can go show it off to your friends. You know what I'm saying? You can go wherever you want to go. You don't have to wait on nobody no more. It really is a great feeling. But I urge you guys to never forget that driving is a privilege that can be taken away. And don't do anything that could jeopardize that privilege, y'all. And it's really hard to get your license back after it's been taken from you. You got to go to classes. Sometimes you got to pay fines. You got to go get these points off your driver's license. It's this whole process. So why would you want to put yourself through that? And you're putting yourself not only in danger, but you're putting others in danger as well. And you don't want it to get to the point where you have caused an accident and now you got to get your parents involved because you're on their insurance and you're thinking about, man, my life is over. Sometimes because of the fatal crash, a lot of these young people are going to jail forever. They're never getting out. You threw your whole life away because you wanted to go fast. Driving is a privilege, not a necessity. It is not something that you just get because you're here. It is a privilege. Let's never forget that. I get it. Driving is fast and exhilarating, you know. Sometimes fun. It can be fun. You on an open roadway. Like, I was coming back from Alabama this one time, and it was so much road. I wasn't flying, but I was going about 80 the whole way back to Atlanta. It was cool. I was jamming to my music. It was me by myself. I'm having a good old time. It's fun. You got the air, the wind blowing in your hair. It's a great feeling. So please, for 1 second, don't think that I don't get it. I truly do. But if you're going to race and you're unexperienced, I don't even care if you're not unexperienced, but if you're going to race, please take it to a track. A track. There's many around here, y'all. I don't think a lot of people know that. You can go to a track and it's not illegal. You can race. Go ahead, have fun. But it is illegal to do it on the street. So, once again, if you want to race, guys, look it up. Look up your nearest track and go race. It is totally legal. Have a ball. You mess your car up, that's on you. But it's not illegal and no one's going to get hurt. I mean, you may still can get hurt, but it's less likely because you're on the track. So just take it there. I know you guys are adults. I do. And you're going to do what you want for just a second. I just want you to imagine you not being able to see your parents again. You not being able to see your friends again. Your loved one, your little boo thing. You're not able to see them ever again. Can you live with that? Can you live not, for my people to have kids, can you live with not being able to see your babies again? Can you do that? Not knowing how you left things with your family, the conversations that y'all had, knowing that some of y'all relationships need to be repaired, but let's say you were taken away today. Would you be okay with how you left things? Probably not. So I really want you guys to just take a second to think. Just think, please.
Standing up, you're going to be standing on the corner.
That boy got them strip legs. So you walking strip in them motherfuckers.
You got no fat ass motherfucker got legs. 350 transmission ass legs.
And it's not just about you. What if you weren't able to, what if someone else, or you were the reason someone else couldn't do those things? Someone else couldn't see their family again. Someone else couldn't see their children, their loved ones, ever again. Ever again. So that's a lot to think about. And I know when you're driving, we don't really think about the bigger picture anymore. We're just in the moment. And I understand. But just please just take a step back and realize the hurt and pain you can inflict on yourself and someone else, a family member. And that's a lot of guilt. That's a lot of guilt. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you want to live with that guilt for the rest of your life? Just can't sleep, having nightmares. And you have to be such a cruel and a heartless individual to be okay. To be okay with that, knowing that you caused harm to someone else and you can still go on with your life, but their life was abruptly ended. Like, how could you live with yourself? You can't have a heart or a conscience. But when you really do think about it, those extra 2 to 3 minutes you shaved off your commute because you wanted to drive fast, it wasn't worth it. It was not worth it. Most times you're going to get caught by a light anyway, so you really ain't cut your travel time down. You just thought you did. It's not worth it. I'm really letting you guys know now. Here's another fact. Able Law Firm states that the common driving hazards associated with street racing are decreased reaction time to avoid vehicles or pedestrians, an inability to safely turn or to retain control through curves, an increased risk of skidding off roads, and increased rollover risk. Hollywood, the media, and the makers of these automobiles, they make it seem like street racing is normal and perfectly legal. And these are movies that I've watched, so I know. They've entertained us for years. Hollywood movies such as the Fast and Furious franchise, Gone in 60 Seconds, Baby Driver, glorify driving fast. And they make it look so easy to do, and it is not. That is a lot of skill that comes with driving like that. And it's become quite popular among younger drivers who are also, once again, very inexperienced. No one stops to think of the consequences or how this can impact themselves or others. I've grown tired of turning on the TV, going on social media, and seeing yet another child being mercilessly taken away from their family. Like, I just heard of this story about the young gentleman that fell from the free fall thing in Florida. That was crazy. First of all, he should have never been allowed on that ride. If every ride turned him down, why did you guys allow him on that ride knowing that he didn't meet the height or the weight requirement? So he was brutally taken away from his family, and that's not how you want to see your loved one go. His father literally seen him falling out of the sky. Just a couple weeks ago, there was a shooting at the Atlanta Fair where a lot of kids go to have a good time, and there was a fight that broke out. 3 kids got shot, 1 died, 2 have injuries. But why are we so violent these days? I remember back in the day, if you had a problem with somebody, oh, we putting the tools up, let's get to it, what's up? But now it's like, people just go straight for the gun. And it's crazy. Like, no one wants to. Fighting is not good at all. I'm not glorifying fighting. But I would rather see 2 kids, put them knuckles up and have a ball and go at it, solve their problems, rather than one reaching for a gun and not even trying to settle anything. You're just trying to kill them. Like, that's the mentality that I've seen these days, and I'm so sick of seeing it, because too many parents are burying their children. It's not supposed to be like this. The child is supposed to bury the parent, not too soon, but after they've lived a long, fulfilling life. But that is not the norm anymore. That's not what you're seeing anymore. It's the parents burying their children. And these children are dying young. They're 12, they're 13, they're 14. They're under the age of 18. And another story is when I seen these 2 kids, one cousin was playing with the gun. The gun went off, killed the other cousin, and when she tried to pick it up, she picked it from the trigger. She ended up killing herself on live, y'all. So it's so depressing going online and you seeing these deaths every single day. Like, these kids are not living their lives anymore. They're being taken away. It's truly sad. Grab these kids, y'all. Talk to them. Have a conversation. Because I'm tired of seeing it. We must protect our youth. We really must, because they're our future. They are. We're losing way too many of them. Have those conversations with the loved ones. And adults. Still have those conversations with your family members or your friends, especially if they drive a sports car. Let them know the dangers and the responsibility they have to society and to themselves to drive that car safely, because those cars, they embody so much power and are seriously dangerous. No car should go 200 miles per hour. Why must the car go that fast? Why must the car go 180 miles? I don't even know on the speedometer why it goes that far. Far as it should go, maybe 140, and that's still too fast. But some cars go all the way up to 180. Why? I don't understand. And cars, they're trying to make cars faster and faster and faster, knowing it's not safe to go that fast. So I kind of blame the automakers of these vehicles. I really do. Just grab your loved ones. Street racing is still very illegal and very fatal. I don't want to see this happen to any other bystander like my brother, who was innocent. He was still supposed to be here. He's still supposed to be here. And I'm not here to question God. I know he has a plan for it all. But y'all, please hold y'all loved ones. Hold them tight. Tell them you love them. If you have any beef, any bad blood between your family and your friends, and you really don't want to see yourself losing them, grab them tight and let them know how much they mean to you, because life is so short and it's not playing fair. It's not. So really, really settle the differences y'all have and figure it out. Y'all are family. Y'all are blood. Y'all are friends and have been for so long. Figure it out. Okay? Have that conversation. Whoever hit my brother, they took away a piece of me. They took away a piece of my family, my parents. But they took away a brother. They took away a great friend. They took away a comedian. They took away an aspiring musician. They took away a son. And most importantly, you took away a father. His baby girl is only 7 months old. And she never even had the opportunity to really see her dad. At that age, you don't really remember much. You won't really start remembering things till you're like almost 2 years old. But she really won't remember her father. So it's up to us to make sure that we let her know who her father was and how great he was and how much he loved her and how much he wanted to do for her. We have to now put that vision in her head, because she couldn't see it for herself. So just know that y'all took away someone very special. You really did. I urge you guys to really put the phones down. Turn the music down just a little bit. I know Meg Thee Stallion. I know Schoolboy. I know Lil Baby. I understand. Turn it down a little bit though, so you can focus. Put the phones down. I can't tell you how many people I see on their phones, and they looking more at the phones. They looking at the road. I'm like, whoa. So it's just us to be a little bit more aware of our surroundings. There is so much life to live, y'all. I truly promise it is. Don't let 30 seconds of recklessness or distracted driving cost you your life or someone else's. And before I end this episode, I will leave you guys with a quote. And it's from the late, great Maya Angelou, When I Think of Death. When I think of death, and of late the idea has come with alarming frequency, I seem at peace with the idea that a day will dawn when I will no longer be among those living in this valley of strange humors. I can accept the idea of my own demise, but I am unable to accept the death of anyone else. I find it impossible to let a friend or relative go into that country to no return. Disbelief becomes my close companion, and anger follows in its wake. I answer the heroic question, Death, why is thy sting? With it is here in my heart, in mind, and memories. Once again, it's Maya Angelou, When I Think of Death. I am so grateful that you guys took the time to hear me out, listen to my podcast. I know it took a little while, and I appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. But that was something that was near and dear to my heart, and something that I feel like we don't talk about enough because it is being glorified so much, but it is also taking away so many great souls way too soon. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to my podcast. I can't wait to see you guys next episode. I'm your host, Shan. See you next time. Peace.